Hello YouTube, the Tribe of the Horror Realm. Haven't had a chance to do one of these in quite a while, which is showcase some of the things that I've added to the collection. Uh, Mainly the big reason for that is that I started doing a challenge on Facebook for 2013. The movies that Teresa and I have been watching, we're posting a screenshot of it on the YouTube Horror Nation and Beyond page. So anyone that guesses the correct film gets a point, and after so many, well, I think it ends in March, we're going to be giving away a prize for the person with the most points. So unfortunately, a lot of the things that we pick up, they get put. That's the ones we're watching, so we really can't throw a reveal on there and then have it show up later on in the contest. So most of these are the ones that have already been solved. So without further ado, picked this one up at Big Lots, and it was either $3 or $1.88. It's Harpoon Whale Watching Massacre. It's a Norwegian film. Stars Gunnar Hansen, who stars in it for all of maybe 15 minutes total. One of those cases where they bring a name actor in, throw him a couple grand, have him film for the entire day, his scenes, and that's it. Overall, film was pretty decent. It was pretty much like having Texas Chainsaw Massacre set on a whaling ship in Norway. A lot of CGI, some practical effects, but overall a bit gory film. So for $3, definitely worth checking out. And some of the character development was a little different than what you would normally see in a film. Though I think it leaves it a little confusing for some people at the end. Now, anyone that has seen my videos knows that I'm a big fan of Ju-On. I think it's the scariest film made. This direct-to-video sequel to the American movie The Grudge 2, not so scary. Another case of taking a name actor, in the case of Shawnee Smith, sticking her in the film for a few minutes. The biggest problem with this film is they allow Keiko the ghost to spend too much time on screen in well-lit scenes. She's far scarier in the dark. So this is also the first movie where I'm going to draw a blank. The actress who had played her since the beginning actually did not portray her in this movie. Overall, kind of a disappointing film. If you're a fan, hey, and you can find it for $3, worth it. But you can see why it went direct to video. The classic Herschel Gordon Lewis 2000 Maniacs. A buddy of mine was selling a bunch of DVDs at a flea market, so I picked this one up from him just to have it in the collection, because it's just one of the things I hadn't gotten around to. Also grabbed this from him. He gave it the seal of approval, and I'd seen it in the stores a number of times, just never really got drawn to it. This is very similar to Shaun of the Dead in the sense of the comedy elements. It is a riot. Really funny. The characters are a riot. You know how many times you're going to see an Asian with an afro? At any rate, Tokyo Zombie, it's just, if you like horror comedies, you're going to like this one. And definitely worth grabbing. A very underrated film. One of those things I can't stand. Multi-films on a single DVD. Or this is 2 DVDs, but 3 movies. How the hell do I file it? I found this really cheap. Reason I wanted to grab this was this movie here, Jeff Lieberman's Satan's Little Helper. I had heard a lot of good things about the movie. Very, very underrated film, so I figured I'd give it a shot. Did enjoy the movie for what it was. I thought the character that's portrayed on the cover did a really decent job, considering he had no facial expressions to utilize, nor did he have any lines. It was all body language for him, and thought it was excellent. Blood Gnome, Sliced, haven't seen either. I have no opinion. Next, Friday the 13th, the final chapter. Yeah, of course I have this a couple times over, but I found this one with a lenticular O-ring still on there. Was used, cheap, and I'm like, well, I'll add it to the collection, because I would like to get all of these with the lenticular covers, a little at a time if I can get them. Stendhal Syndrome, not my favorite Argento film at all, but came across it and didn't have this 2-disc special edition, so I picked this one up and sat down and watched it with Teresa. Overall, Stendhal Syndrome kind of bores me. I don't know, it's just not my cup of tea. I know there's a big following for Asia Argento. I'm not one of them, I guess. Also noticed that this weird thing going on with her hair kind of gives her double eyebrows here. Anyways, it's a complete one with, as you can see, original O-ring still, so added that one to the collection. Staying in Italy, this is an out-of-print copy of Torso, Anchor Bay edition. The Sergio Martino film is just exploitation goodness. It's sleaze at its finest. One of the things that I found so odd about the film is every male Italian in this movie is just leering constantly at women. No matter what they're doing, they're leering. They're giving them the "I want to pork you" face all the time. I don't know. A little creepy. Wish it was a little better condition. As you can see, there's a little bit of, looks like some wrinkling on the cover itself, but out of print. So I had to add that one in the collection. After Dark Horror Fest 4, The Reeds. This one too came with the original slipcase. Was cheap enough, figured I'd give it a shot. The Reeds is actually a little better than your average After Dark Horror Fest fare. Somewhat predictable at the end. Not even. Even the beginning, middle, you could kind of figure it out. Yeah, it's probably one of those you might want to rent or borrow from a friend or something. You can find it cheap enough. It's not one of those blow-away movies, in my opinion, but wasn't too bad to watch. They try to get tricky with the movie and clever. Crocodile 2, Death Swamp. Every time I saw this in a store, it was always way more money than I was willing to spend. Finally found a copy cheap and had to snag this. You know me, I love my crocodilian type movies. So I finally got to see this one here, and I got to tell you, if you've seen Tobe Hooper's original Crocodile, this one is actually much better than that. Sure, there's editing flaws throughout the movie. It is what it is. It's a cheap exploitation type film. Martin Kove makes an appearance. Of course, you might know him as Kreese from Karate Kid. He plays the tracker in the movie with just some over-the-top goodness. there's a bank that gets robbed, and the criminals flee, trying to get out of the country. They hijack a plane and end up subsequently having the plane crash, and then they have to make their way out. So of the swamps, excuse me. So you pretty much have the protagonist in the film not only having to worry about a vengeance-ridden giant crocodile, but they've got these gun-toting maniacs as well. So it made for interesting story compared to your standard annoying kids getting chopped by crocodiles. So if you're faced with an opportunity to pick up Tobe Hooper's Crocodile or Crocodile 2 Death Swamp, aka Death Roll, I would suggest this one over the Crocodile 2. So Gary Jones did a one-up Tobe Hooper. Madman, the out-of-print Anchor Bay edition. I actually already own this movie, but I happened to see it for sale and figured why not grab another copy. I'm sure there's someone out there that might be interested in doing a trade for this. Not the easiest title to come by. Still, when you're out there, it still goes for pretty good money on the secondary market. But was able to find this and figured there's going to be someone that will be interested in adding this one to their collection. So, if you're interested, let me know. See what we can work out. Madman. The Wicker Man. Now, I have this movie in the wood box, but this is another out-of-print Anchor Bay edition, and wanted to add it to the collection just as a variation. And look at the price. $2. One of the best movies made. Teresa was totally freaked out by this film. I just love it. I can't go on enough about how awesome this film really is. So I was able to find this version of it and quickly snapped it up. Mystery Science Theater 21, MST3K versus Gamera. This is the limited edition tin set. Found this being sold as used, even though it is factory sealed. Kind of a conundrum, because these things go for big money when they're new like this. So I'm kind of torn if I want to flip it on like eBay or something, even though I wouldn't mind watching them. So, right place, right time. That's normally something the horror man would find. On to the Blu-rays. Wrong Turn 4, Bloody Beginnings. I actually think I've owned this for quite a while. I think I got it at Walmart, apparently. I can't recall. Who knows? Maybe I didn't. Anyways, I'm surprised I hadn't got a chance to watch this, because it is the Blu-ray and DVD. So even before I had the Blu-ray player, I still probably could have watched this. Anyhow, this is the prequel to Wrong Turn. So it was their way of being able to use the inbreds that were often in the original Wrong Turn. Again, this is kind of the origin story for them. I really enjoy the Wrong Turn films. Haven't had a chance to watch Part 5 yet, but I'm sure I'm going to get to it. Much better. Wrong Turn 4, much better than 3, which I thought was really bad. The Shining. I don't have to go into the quality of the film. Everyone knows what it is. Happened to, Teresa wanted to see it. I reached for my old snapper case edition I had kicking around. Turns out the DVD isn't in there, so I actually went out and found this at Walmart for like $7 or something to that effect. So I picked this one up to add to the collection and get her a chance to watch it. Final Destination 5. I love these movies, even though if you've seen one, you've seen them all. They do follow a formula. You can do the same thing over and over again 10 times and I'll still watch them. Why? They always have the creative deaths. This one happens to have a little twist at the end, which explains to the viewer why there is a Final Destination 5 after touting the fourth movie as the Final Destination. So, worth picking up if you like these films. If you've seen one or two and you're just not into them, then you might as well keep walking. However, this one stands out a lot better than 2, 3, and 4 because of the ending. So worth checking out. The double feature. However, not so bad because same title. I can file it just under Halloween. Neither film were very high on my Halloween list, so I hadn't really made an effort to pick them up. So I'm fine with having them on a double feature disc. Halloween Curse of Michael Myers, complete mess of a film. Producer's cut is so much better. Halloween H2O. The one thing that always bothered me about this movie is Josh Hartnett. I just can't stand that kid. Really just want to friggin' slap him. But the reason I picked this one up, I picked it up from Walmart, $7.88, and it came as a 2-pack along with Hellraiser, Bloodlines, and Inferno. Again, the Hellraiser version of this one. 2 movies, really don't care for them, but I can get them into the collection. I had this when it came out on VHS and watched it, and it was such a shitfest, I couldn't stand it. And I kind of gave up on Hellraiser after that. So here's a chance that I could get additional ones, versions of them, and cheap. Did the trade-in, upgrade and save at Best Buy. Picked up I Saw the Devil. And if you're a fan of the Asian revenge films, a la Lady Vengeance or Old Boy, you're in for a treat with this one. It's got humor, it's got tension. It is just a really well done film. Acting is excellent. The killer in this is just really well portrayed. Outstanding movie. I don't know. I can't tell you enough about how clever the film was, and I just really enjoyed a lot of it. Attack the Block. Again, just haven't gotten around to picking it up and was able to get it for a pretty decent price. I had a really nice conversation with some of my friends across the pond who just does not like this film because of the way they portray these inner city kids, and I forget the term that they have in the country for calling them something about this type of demographic group. Needless to say, because I'm not privy to it, and we have our own version of sneaky bastards in this country. I just took it for what it was worth and watched it, and really liked the development of the central kid in the film. The creatures looked pretty cool in the movie. Basically, it is like the Goonies, the inner city version of the Goonies meets like Aliens. Really enjoyed it. Ignorance is bliss, I guess. Troll Hunter. Heard a lot about it, so I was really anxious to see this film, and it was okay, but I think I had higher expectations for it than what it turned out to be. I thought it was going to be a lot more with, giant monsters. It was one of those, POV shot type of films, and I thought it was okay. It wasn't anything that really wowed me that, I want to go running out and yell into the high heavens to watch it. So I guess I was a little disappointed in this one. Finally, Hotel Transylvania. Picked this up when it came out. Teresa had really wanted to see it, but we didn't get a chance to see it in the theaters. And this was fun. It was just so enjoyable. Um, yeah, it does play off of Universal Monsters, which we do have a passion for. But boy, it was just one of those movies that, even Teresa, she just was like a kid watching this thing. And I always say she's perpetually 12, but as soon as the movie was over, she could have just started the whole thing over again and rewatched it. Really, really enjoyed this one. This is one of her now has leaped into one of her all-time favorites. Um, if you have kids, definitely grab this one. They'll love it. If you don't have kids and you're a kid at heart, I'm sure you'll love it just as much as we did. So definitely worth picking up. We had picked up Paranorman earlier and thought that was delightful. This thing was, in our opinion, and I know she shares my sentiment, was actually even better than Paranorman. But you know what? And I'm fine if this is the only one. I hate to see them do a Hotel Transylvania 2 and screw it all up, but I'm sure they're going to. But for now, we can always live with this one. Anyways, that's it for now. Kind of dwelled on longer than I wanted to, but I didn't want to just go through, I got this, I got this, I got this. Wanted to speak a little on them as well. So, that's all for now. If you haven't had a chance, go over to Facebook, YouTube, Horror Nation, and beyond. Start in and just join in. Right now, as we speak, there's 2 leaders right now sharing with 8 points apiece. So there's a lot more films that haven't been guessed. So you can always get in and still make a good run. Anyways, thanks very much for watching, and have a great day. Bye.